All right, multiple times today, Donald Trump was asked about Charlie Kirk, and he immediately pivots to the ballroom at the White House and himself. They're very odd clips that I want to play for you in just 1 second, but I also want to point out MAGA commentators and Fox News hosts over the past 24 hours have been trying so desperately hard to drive a very intentional narrative about the shooter. 22-year-old Tyler Robinson was arrested last night after his dad confronted him in his home and said, "Hey, I saw those pictures. Is that you in those pictures?" Tyler Robinson then confessed to his father, according to reports, and his father said, "You need to turn yourself in." That's when Tyler Robinson said, "I would rather commit suicide than turn myself in." So his father called a nearby pastor. The pastor came over, and the pastor was the one who actually called the feds and turned Tyler Robinson in. So that's the story. That is what happened last night. I wanted to clarify just in case you guys had not heard that entire story. From there, the internet just blew up trying to figure out the political ideology of this person. And I'm just going to say this right now. The motive is still unclear. The investigation has not uncovered a motive. We have only seen a lot of internet sleuthing online, and people kept getting it wrong. They dug up the address of someone named Tyler Robinson, who was apparently registered Republican, and it was a 45-year-old guy. This guy is getting harassed now. They dug up another address of somebody who was making online posts under the name Tyler R., and it was the wrong guy. So the point that I want to make is, please do not be jumping to conclusions. We still are unsure of the exact motive because the guy was just memeing a bunch in the bullets. Some people have pulled up photos from 2017 to 2018, but I would urge you to be careful coming to conclusions from photos that were posted 7 to 8 years ago, when now he seems to have gotten radicalized over the past year or two. The purpose of this video is going to be disrupting the Fox News MAGA host narrative that they are currently pushing and making sure we're all grounded in reality. I've been getting a lot of emotional emails, people mad at me, but my job is to report the news, stay grounded in reality, and let's just start with this Fox News clip, where they're immediately blaming colleges. Colleges are radicalizing people. But Tyler Robinson did 1 semester at a Utah university, then dropped out. So they are claiming that, the ideology is so weak that 1 semester at university turns people into leftists. Listen to this.
It is a good point. I want to point something else out. You heard the family member say that this man became more political, this young man became more political in recent years. Well, what did he do in recent years? He went to college. That's where kids are getting radicalized. It's not just online. Our campuses are where a lot of radicalization, hate, and intolerance starts from. And so when he says it's an attack on all of us, I'm going to say this. No, it's an attack on conservatives.
This is entirely backwards. Campuses promote diversity of thought. Oftentimes, when somebody goes off to college, they meet people, they have experiences that they otherwise would not have. A lot of people who grow up in predominantly white areas are exposed to new things when they go to college or move to a city, or even people who grew up in predominantly black areas are exposed to new things. College is good because it brings minds together. I've been working really hard to disrupt this exact narrative. First of all, somebody said, the hotbed of leftist militancy, the electrical apprenticeship program at Utah's Dixie Technical College, which is where he spent 1 semester at. You think that leftist militancy is coming from electrical apprenticeship? That's what they're saying over on Fox News. I've had my own framework for discussing this problem throughout the day. And no, it's not about college. It's not about leftism. There's a very specific problem that I want to point out that I've seen myself. This post I wrote went very viral. It got a lot of good reception, but a lot of people were angry. A lot of people in the comments of my audience were angry that I read this. Let me just explain it. This is from my own experience. It says, I'm 22 years old, the same age as Tyler Robinson, and I believe we have a bigger problem here. Young men are being radicalized by the internet at an unprecedented rate, which was only accelerated by COVID's isolation, plus foreign actors trying to incentivize this type of radicalization. I've seen it happen to many of my friends. Young men spending their formative years clawing back from COVID isolation, usually spending too much time deep in algorithms. Now, people are debating whether Tyler Robinson was far leftist or on the far right. We actually don't know yet. We don't have confirmation. People are digging up 8-year-old posts and trying to connect dots. We don't know yet. It says people are debating whether he's on the far right or the far left, but it doesn't really matter. Another young white male who looks eerily similar to this guy shot up another high school at the exact same time. The ideology does not matter right now. He was at the whims of the algorithm that was radicalizing him. That algorithm could have just as easily introduced him to a Nick Fuentes. Half of his bullets had random memes on them. This was not some ideologue that was confident in his views. This was a kid who was just radicalized. And I then posted a few photos of the white dude who shot up the Colorado high school, Thomas Matthew Crooks, and Tyler Robinson. These are all people who have been radicalized by algorithms. Now, the comments ate me up. They said, Adam, why are you trying to say this is both sides, that both sides are bad? What you're doing right there is engaging in the same type of division I am trying to call out here. In no reality would I say that both sides are to blame for political violence. All the time on the show, I say that right-wingers disproportionately commit violence and spread violence in a top-down manner coming from the President of the United States. But I wasn't making this post to make a political divisive point. I was trying to point to a broader issue that I have personally seen. So somebody wrote me this long comment saying, Adam, I'm unsubscribing because it looks like you just both sides the issue and you blamed liberals too. I wasn't blaming anybody. You, by saying that, are admitting that you want me to be so dogmatically divisive that I can't even arrive at a thought that is bigger than the ideology of these people. So I want to, sorry, I don't mean to get too intense there, but people were on my ass about a post that I thought was rather rational. And if you disagree with that, then actually write something out. Don't just email me that you're unsubscribing. It's insane. But to continue right here, some Republican on Twitter replied, not to me, but to somebody else, and said, have some class and respect for the dead. Imagine it was your father that was shot and the whole media is making fun of it. That's what Chelsea said with a cross in their bio. But somebody literally found a tweet where they said, bye-bye Gaza. This person just said bye-bye Gaza and was making fun of the death, destruction, starvation, and genocide of a bunch of people over in Gaza. So yeah, you don't have any moral high ground here, Chelsea. Remember, young white men are repeatedly getting radicalized, and it's something we'll continue to talk about on this channel. Let me show you this clip of Donald Trump getting asked about Charlie Kirk while standing on the White House lawn, and he immediately pivots to the White House ballroom. I'm not even exaggerating when I say that he doesn't even acknowledge it. He just pivots right over, and then he does it again in the same day. Take a listen.
How are you holding up over the last 3.5 days?
I think very good. And by the way, right there, you see all the trucks. They just started construction of the new ballroom for the White House, which is something they've been trying to get, as you know, for about 150 years. And it's going to be a beauty. It'll be an absolutely magnificent structure. And I just see all the trucks. We just started, so it'll get done very nicely, and it'll be one of the best anywhere in the world, actually.
Thank you so much.
What in the hell? Listen to this. He does it one more time. He gets asked right here, what do you think about the Charlie Kirk thing? And he says, oh, I was building a great, great ballroom when I heard it. Then he just goes to talk about the ballroom. This is bizarre.
He was very hurt when he saw this. But, I mean, everybody was. Oh, when I heard it, I was in the midst of, building a great, for 150 years, they've wanted a ballroom at the White House, right? They don't have a ballroom. They have to use tents on the lawn for President Xi when he comes over.
Okay, so then he goes on for 40 more seconds. I think they were asking you about Charlie Kirk, Mr. President. I think they were asking about something completely differently. Either way, I'm going to leave it there. If you appreciate the videos we make on the Adam Mockler channel and the breakdowns that we provide, drop a like, subscribe below. You don't have to agree with everything, but just let me know in the comment section when you disagree. I love you all, and peace out.